Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers. I am Dr. Muhammad Usman, Professor of Physiology, and today we are going to discuss ventilation perfusion ratio regarding the physiology of respiration. So today we will discuss what is ventilation perfusion ratio, what is its normal value, what are the physiological variations in this ratio, and what are the pathological variations in this ratio. So basically a ventilation perfusion ratio, as the name indicates, it is the ratio between ventilation, that is alveolar ventilation per minute, and pulmonary blood flow. Okay. Its formula is VA over Q, where VA shows ventilation and Q shows pulmonary blood flow. Now normally alveolar ventilation is 4.2 liters per minute and perfusion is equal to the cardiac output, that is the same blood flow which is the cardiac output, it comes to the lungs. So it is about 5 to 5.5 liters per minute. So 4.2 divided by 5.5, it comes to be about 0.8, that is the normal VA over Q ratio or ventilation perfusion ratio is 0.8. Now if ventilation is 0, then putting this 0 in ventilation perfusion ratio, that is VA over Q, it will become 0 because the numerator here is 0. But if Q is 0, then putting this Q in this ratio, the VA over Q ratio will be infinity. So what does this mean? Basically VA over Q ratio indicates efficiency of gas exchange, and if it is 0 or infinity, in both cases it means that there is no gas exchange. Now let us discuss various physiological variations in ventilation perfusion ratio. Now this is a normal lung and this is the middle part of the lung, where ventilation and this perfusion, they are perfectly matching each other. So the ratio is about 0.8 or normal. But what happens in the upper part of the lungs here? Now in the upper part or apices of the lungs, due to the effect of gravity, the ventilation and perfusion both become less than normal, but the effect on perfusion is much more than the effect on ventilation, because ventilation is gas and perfusion is blood flow. So perfusion becomes much less than the ventilation. So if we talk about the formula, then ventilation is less but perfusion is much less. So denominator is much less than the numerator. Denominator is much less than the numerator. So what is the effect? The ventilation perfusion ratio is increased. It becomes about 3 in the or near to 3 in the upper part or apices of the lungs. Okay. So what does this practically mean? It means that ventilation is wasted in the upper part or apices of the lungs, and it will contribute to the physiological dead space. Now let us see that what happens in the lower part or base of the lung. Here again, due to the effect of gravity, the ventilation and perfusion both become more than the normal, or you can say both become more than the middle zone of the lung. But the perfusion or blood flow, it increases much more than the ventilation. So if again we talk about the formula, then the denominator here, it becomes much more than the numerator. So what is the net effect? The ratio or ventilation perfusion ratio, it becomes less than the middle part of the lung, and it may be 0.6 or near to that. So this practically means that in the lower part or bases of the lungs, the perfusion or Q is wasted, and it will contribute to the physiological shunt, that is a shunted blood per minute. Now we will talk about various pathological or diseased variations in the ventilation perfusion ratio. Now one scenario is that there is pulmonary thrombosis or embolism. Now due to this condition, what will happen, that there will be no or zero blood flow and ventilation will be normal. Okay, as you can see here, ventilation in the alveoli is normal, but perfusion or blood flow is 0. So this ventilation is being wasted here in conditions like pulmonary thrombosis or pulmonary embolism, the ventilation is coming here, but there is no blood with which it can exchange the gases. So, we can say that in these conditions of pulmonary thrombosis or pulmonary embolism, the ventilation is wasted. So, sometimes it is asked that in these conditions what will be the value of PO2 and PCO2 in the alveolar air. So, in these conditions Q is 0 because there is pulmonary thrombosis or embolism. So, perfusion is 0, but ventilation is there. So, if we talk about the ratio, it will be VA over Q. If we divide anything by 0, it becomes infinity. So, now PO2 and PCO2 in the alveolar air, they will resemble the values in the inspired air, okay, as you can see here, because the inspired air is coming normally to the alveoli, but there is no blood with which it can exchange gases. So, PO2 and PCO2 will resemble the values in the inspired air, that is PO2 will be 149 millimeter of mercury and PCO2 will be 0 millimeter of mercury. It means that there is no exchange of gases and there is no or 0 blood flow. Now, this is another condition, this is another pathological condition, and this is the case of COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, okay, in which there is obstruction in the airflow, and suppose there is complete obstruction. So, no air is coming in this alveolus, but if we talk about the blood flow, it is normal. So, in these conditions of COPD or in obstructive diseases, we say that perfusion or Q is wasted and it contributes to physiological shunt. Now, in these conditions, what will be the value of PO2 and PCO2 in the alveoli? So, we can easily predict that the values of PO2 and PCO2 in the alveolar air, they will resemble the values in the venous blood, because the blood flow is there, but air is not coming from the outside because of obstruction in the airways. So, there is no air, but blood is coming here. So, the values of alveolar air will resemble the values of PO2 and PCO2 in the venous blood. So, in these conditions, we say that the perfusion is being wasted here because there is no air with which it can exchange the gases. So, we say Q or perfusion is wasted here. So, thank you for watching today's video. If you have any question, you can ask me through the email address. Stay blessed and Allah Hafiz.